Good evening and a very warm welcome to all of you tuned into a very special edition of TUP Career Cafe. My name is Prashant Mithwani and I will be your host for today. TUP, the ultimate pitch, is a competition which allows bright young talent across B schools of India to showcase their entrepreneurial spirit. As an organization, Reliance has always believed in thinking big, thinking fast, and thinking ahead of curve. And that's exactly what we are looking for in our future leaders too. We are looking for change makers, trendsetters, and innovators who are willing to take that first step to make a difference, one idea at a time. Moreover, for those who dare to dream and make it to the national finals of TUP, can stand chance to win PPIs for the prestigious Reliance Emerging Leaders Program. Now, while of that sounds very exciting, sometimes the start of something big can be quite daunting. So, this unique career cafe is for you, our future leaders. Let's use this 1 hour to learn and have a happy conversation about careers in the track of your choice, which in this case is operations. And to help you along, we have leaders from Reliance who are here to talk about exciting opportunities at Reliance, their own professional journeys, as well as to share some useful insights into the track that you are interested in. We would request all of you to please feel free to post your questions in the chat window and we shall try to take some of them up through this session. First up, I would like to introduce Ms. Geeta Upal. Geeta is Senior Vice President and is currently heading procurement and contracts for petrochemical, geo, and consumer retail business. Next, I would like to introduce Mr. Anil Khanna. Anil is Senior Vice President and is currently heading National Fulfillment for Geo Operations and Hub and Transportation for Consumer Supply Chain Business. Welcome Geeta and Anil to this Career Cafe. It is such a pleasure to host you all.
Thanks, Prashant.
To start off, let's have a quick round of introduction.
Good evening.
Good evening. Geeta and Anil, can you tell our audience a little bit about yourself and your professional journey so far?
Geeta, why don't you go first? You want to go first? Okay, I think Geeta, maybe facing some challenges. Uh, Thanks, Prashant. Thanks a lot. I'll take this up first. Uh, First of all, it's really a privilege and an honor to be part of this session. I'm actually looking forward to this because it's always very exciting to interact with the young blood, and uh, you know, you also feel rejuvenated, and you get a feeling that yes, you're also back into the same days. So, thank you so much for this opportunity. Uh, I'll just quickly take you through my journey that I've had so far. All right. I've spent about more than 25 years in the industry now. I started off after my mechanical engineering from Delhi College of Engineering, and I joined Larsen and Toubro. Journey started from there. Um, that's where the foundation also got laid because, like the program that we're going to talk about, Reliance Emerging Leaders program, I also got into something similar for the engineers. So I got into a GET program. I spent about 2 years in that program, and then another couple of years learning the various ropes, and then got into my management degree. Did my specialization into operations from IMT Ghaziabad, and then worked with organizations like Nerolac, with Tata's Drive India, which is a Tata Group company, and then Reliance. So that's briefly what I've been. I've been through and through into supply chain and into operations as such. Uh, I've been into the production planning when I was with Nerolac Paint, so I was into production planning and the decorative planning. So the pan India operations were what I was basically into. Uh, Uh, After that, I spent time with Drive India, wherein I was actually engaged in setting up the entire Pan India distribution and logistics operation for Tata Teleservices. So when the Tata Teleservices services were getting rolled out, the technical, the business arm was what I had sort of set up, um, and that's where I also sort of leveraged onto the quality and aspect. And then, of course, post that in 2014, I have joined Reliance, wherein I was been part of the Geo journey. Uh, so I spent a number of years in Geo. Uh, Again, I was into setup of the business arm of the Geo network. When I say business arm of the Geo network, what I mean is basically the devices that we use, the SIM kits that we use, is the product which was typically getting handled. So these are the products which was set up. So the entire distribution chain, how how to set up, where to set up, what are the kind of areas that we need to set up, the warehousing operations, the distribution operations, is what I was uh, part of. And along with that, the SIM that we use, the kitting of that plant operations was also set up along with that. So after that, after successfully handling that, now for last couple of years, I'm actually into uh, setting up of the dropship express network, as I would say. So what we're doing over there is that and this is for the consumer retail, non-grocery segment. So what we've actually divided in our operations and Reliance is into two segments. So the grocery and non-grocery operations. When it comes to the logistics operations or the last mile delivery operations. So I'm part of the team which is actually building the non-grocery operations and developing that program. So wherein the challenges of B2C and B2B deliveries come in. So the B2C is business to consumer and B2B is business to business. At times, I may just come up with some terminologies, and feel free to stop and ask me those terminologies. At times, they just come spontaneously, right? So that's the brief journey about myself. Um, Geeta, why don't you just, if you can hear me?
Yes, now I can hear. Thank you. A very, very good evening, everybody. I think we all are very excited to meet everyone. Apologies for my backdrop. It is not intentional. It's just that I am mobile today and I'm taking this call on the road. So, apologies for that. So, yeah, my name is Geeta Uppal. I started my journey with Reliance about 9 years back, and it has been a very exciting journey, I can tell you. Uh, if I was to describe it, there is never a dull moment in each and every day of our lives from the time I've joined here. So I started out heading the ocean freight for Reliance Petrochemical Division, where what I mean by heading ocean freight is the entire exports and imports and customs and the entire international operations. So, most of you know Reliance Industries is a very diversified team, and we have consumer retail, we have Geo, we have now Geo Mart, we have the industries, which is the petrochemical division. So I started my journey with the petrochemical division, where I handle the entire bandwidth of the exports and imports that we do. So all the manufacturing sites, all the production that we have, a large part of that is also exported to more than 250 countries globally. And that is what I handled. Then moved on to head the transportation and logistics. Then moved on to heading the warehousing for petrochemicals. And then moved on to consumer retail. So as you can see in the 9 years of journey, that I shared with Reliance, it has been completely dynamic. So there has never been something that can breed monotony, or that I am repeating myself and doing the same job again and again. No, that's not what Reliance is all about. We believe in creating value at every stage. We believe in innovating. So that is what we do. So every job that I took, every portfolio that I managed, was innovation and based on productivity. And that is how Reliance works.
I think we lost her.
Yes, she might be facing some network issues. Uh,
Am I audible now? Is it better
your
now?
voice is cracking right now. Uh, let's move to the next
Okay,
session
I'm
now.
going closer to the phone. Is it audible now? Yeah, can you hear me?
I hope Geeta will join back soon. What a amazing journey, Anil sir and Geeta ma'am. Uh, Reliance being a federation of uh, diverse businesses, I'm sure our audience is keen to understand little bit about various kinds of opportunity available in operations tech at Reliance, and especially in the businesses you are working with. Anil sir, I will suggest to take up this question and
Sure, sure. Uh, Thanks, Prashant. So, as all of us know, right, Reliance provides immense opportunity in all the areas, right? And what are the areas that we're talking about right now in operations? Uh, so, like Geeta was talking about procurement and contracting, and I'll talk about operations. When I say operations, you can talk about supply chain, uh, and supply chain can be further broken up into there's a warehousing operation, there's a distribution operation, there's material planning operation. So these are the prominent areas which are available in the organization, and I'm talking about operations. So, and of course, you get all kinds. So you have petrochemical and hydrocarbon operations, which is a different industry altogether. Retail provides a different uh, bandwidth and different skill set requirement for operations there, and geo is completely different when it comes to the network operations and the business operations. So when I say geo, so there are two set of operations there. So the net the business operation that I talked about earlier, and then there's a network operation. When you say network operation, you and I, when we talk to each other, right, we are using just picking up our mobile and calling up. But then all the signals are going through some devices, some network, something. So that setup, those base transmission stations, those routers, and all such things is what the network is all about. So Reliance is, offering that kind of opportunity there. Now coming specifically to the area that I am looking at is, as I said, the the last mile, or the distribution piece. There, the opportunity again is immense because we need to deliver the non-grocery products. So when I say non-grocery, you know, uh, it's fashion lifestyle product, it's digital product, be it pharmaceutical, be it now another other related products like furniture and so on and so forth. So all such products also come into non-grocery product. So there, and it's akin to creating our own express network, or if we are aware of it, an organization like uh, delivery, or organization like Ecom Express, or an organization like Gati is what we are talking about. So The complexity comes in because uh, certain small product needs to be delivered to our homes, and certain small products will have to be delivered to stores. And similarly for B2B, there are some bulky products and so on and so forth. And then, of course, you and I, we also as a B2C customer order for HD product. So I'm just trying to give a spectrum of product range that is being managed. And this is just one segment that I'm talking about. Right? So similar challenges get posed in the other areas as well. So that's broadly what I'm saying. So we are creating this, and when we are creating this, we creating it from the technology perspective. And when we talk about technology, we talk about imbibing the best of the technology and automation in place, and then of course building the team, the training piece, and uh, to keep abreast with the changing times is what it is. The ethos that Reliance also operates upon is that the scale has to be right and has to be 10x is the term that we use. Right? So that gets that much more exciting when you get into a building of something. I've sort of tried to give the perspective of what we're doing along with the kind of opportunity that it provides. So I've tried to mix the two. Geeta, if you would like to add something to our image.
Yes, and also the diversified portfolio, Anil. I think we should also tell our audience that in terms of the diversified portfolio, that at one moment you are trying to manage an operational glitch for a celebrity watch or an outfit which needs to be worn at a particular shoot, which was supposed to have been air freighted from London or from wherever, and or you're trying to manage some urgent shipment of oxygen tanks. So simultaneously, you're also trying to manage your, petrochemical tankers. You're trying to do your groceries, your geomart. So the portfolio is so diversified. Like I look after now transportation, right? And to talk about transportation, it's such a small, simple thing. Okay, taking goods from A to B. But no, what vehicle type size are you using? Are you using a flatbed? Are you using an open truck? Are you using closed body truck? Are you doing by rail? Are you doing by ship? Are you doing by a coastal, which is within India? So there is a lot of diversity also in terms of the portfolio that is being handled in our supply chain spectrum. So that is what I wanted to add over here. So it is not something that you will be used to doing in any other organization. I cannot believe after spending almost 2 decades in this industry, I firmly believe that an organization like Reliance Industries, the kind of spectrum it gives you, the kind of freedom, the kind of entrepreneurial mindset, the thinking, the creativity, there are no barriers. This it's limitless. So that kind of opportunity, I think, very rare you will get in any other organization. At least in the 2 decades in my industry experience, I have not come across. So that is what I wanted to add here, Prashant.
Through the breadth and the depth that you can't get anywhere. Both. Prashant, so
Yeah.
that's what I think both of us are trying to say.
I'm sure that students tuned in are very excited to know the wonderful opportunities which lie ahead to learn and grow in Reliance. Speaking of growth, our motto here at Reliance is growth is life. And this stems from our fundamental ethos of constantly thinking like entrepreneurs in order to stay ahead of curve. Geeta, can you please tell about how this zeal of being entrepreneur, which you mentioned in your last answer, is seen in your day-to-day work at Reliance, and why it is so important to have that part?
Absolutely. I would like to actually elaborate something over here. We all know that the last 18 months or so have been very difficult for us, our entire human race has been challenged to do things differently. And I think in Reliance, what we have seen in the last 18 months, the kind of creativity, the kind of mindset that we have come onto the table and done things for the first time ever, where something like this has never been done ever in any part of the world. So let me give you an example. So we had, everybody knows that during the lockdown, there was nothing moving. You could hardly even see a dog on the road, the first lockdown. At that time, we had this decision, what do we do with our manufacturing plants? And we decided that yes, we will keep our plants running and we will export the material instead of selling it domestic, because by then some of the international markets were open and they were actually accepting the material. They were ready to accept the material. But how do we send the material from the plant to the ports, because the ports were working because they came under the essential category, and from the ports how do we export it? And then for that we needed the containers, because we wanted to stuff the containers and put the material in them and send it to China or Italy or Europe, whichever markets were open. We had to identify those markets, we had to ensure that we had the business to those markets, and we had to send that. That's where what I salute our organization. They gave us a free hand. They told us, think out of the box. How can we do this? How will we make the refineries work? How will we continue to produce the material? And within, I think, hours, we had to create that solution. So we spoke to our network, we spoke to the suppliers, we actually chartered an entire ship which came and stood outside the port. They discharged the empty containers. We took the containers to the plant, we stuffed them with the material, then it came back. The containers came back by train, and then that ship came back from Anchorage into the berth and took almost 3,500 containers back to the exporting countries, that is to China, basically, is where we had to export the material to. So this is like one small case study, in the limited time that I have, that I can say. We I have thousand such stories that I can talk about, till the cows come home. But what I'm trying to say over here is that that is where your limits will get pushed, and that is where you will be able to think out of the box. Okay, fine. We need to do a train. Let's open a terminal over here. There is no rail siding over here. We can put our own tracks. Okay, what do we do? How many warehouses do we need? How do we go to the scale of 10x? What can we do? How can we spread the network? What is the need of the customer? The customer is always the focus. You revolve your entire circulation as to what is the need of your end consumer. And you can think like a businessman, you can make decisions, you are allowed to fail also, and then move forward and learn. So that is what I wanted to say over here.
Thank you, Geeta. Anil sir, I know the experience which you had regarding establishing the supply chain of Jio SIM cards for the largest acquisition of customers in telecom history. Would request you to please tip in the points in terms of entrepreneurial spirit which helped you to attain such a large scale so quickly.
Okay, yeah. So as I will just add to what Geeta said, I have also seen the same uh, ethos getting percolated in the kind of operations. So when we were building the Geo network, business network, also I was talking about. So I'm talking about myself. Okay. Yeah. So we said, okay, we were told that look, this is what needs to be delivered. Now you need to define how and what. So we sat down and we looked at it, and then whatever uh, we decided and said, okay, this is what is required for the meeting the targets, the 10x targets that we had set, is something which we could see and then put that into a play. Not only that, so when we actually went about doing this, the first and foremost thing that we did was we built the key team uh, across geography. And then we got together and said that, look, this is what we need to build. And as a team, they said, okay, fine, this is what we need to achieve. And that the targets were given that, look, this is the timeline and this is the kind of operational scalability that we need to have. And then a lot of inputs came in from the team, and with that was got built up. So I'm giving it a slightly different perspective in the sense that, you know, together it sort of uh, we built that. And till date, the volumes have scaled up for Geo, but what we built at that point in time has been able to manage the volumes, which has gone up to not only 10x but more than that. And we've been able to manage because of the way we had designed, and it is so we've been able to get that operation. Similar is the thing that we're doing currently also. Uh, when we're building it up, we're building it in a manner that we are able to have that scalability and this. And it's not that questions are being asked. Questions are being asked that you just need to ensure that customer promises are met. And that is the key of supply chain also, on the operations team. And for other organization rather, why only supply chain? Yeah. So I just want to quickly probably add into that part.
So, as we are discussing about Geo, we have a question from audience coming up. Like, how is Geo going to shape up in the coming years after capturing the telecom world by storm? What new things we can look forward from operations point of view in the progress of Geo?
Okay, that's an interesting one. See, I think what you can see is, uh, and what our first I'll talk about our chairman's vision, and he said so in AGM also, is that the next is the 5G and the self-sufficiency that we're talking about. So when we talk about self-sufficiency and the network being, when I say self-sufficiency, the network is being developed in-house, right? With of course some partnering and all, but yeah, the basic key is here. So when that is happening, and we're looking at made in India, make in India, sorry, uh, I think there are going to be huge number of operational challenges also, which we would need to overcome, because now at times some of the locations, some elements are going to be at one part of the country, some at some other, and uh, then that's one part which we need to ensure is reaches there. And second is the upgradation of network would also be a key operational challenge. So there are going to be opportunities galore. And uh, believe me, I've actually seen this, and I've seen uh, some of the young team members and whom I interacted with during my Geo days, and now also I keep on interacting. A lot of learning that they uh, get from that. The only key that I've seen this is an ethos which I would put in as a professional over a period of time, which I believe in, is from operations perspective. One is planning. So we need to plan things right, and then the execution piece. So once you have planned it right, then of course it's execution, and it is applicable for all the aspects that I think I've talked about, and I'm sure Geeta would also concur with this.
Yes.
So I think I'll not take too much of time, because yeah, as
Okay.
Geeta said, we can go on, but
Yeah.
So moving ahead with the next part of the session, uh, let's travel back in time and what are the some of your fondest memories of campus or corporate life? And moreover, if you could switch places with the students who have joined us on the call, what advice would you give your younger self? Like what thing they need to do differently? What something which you want to do or expect from a younger one?
Be like a sponge. Just soak in as much information as you can. Keep, two pairs of eyes in the front, two pairs of eyes behind, two pairs of ears here, and two pairs of ears behind as well. And don't get scared to ask questions, because this will be your honeymoon period.
True.
This is the time where you will need to ask as many questions as possible, and just take in everything like a sponge. Just challenge everything that you want to, but you don't understand. Ask the why of things, be creative. And because this time is not going to come back again, these are your formative years where you will be able to decide that which stream you want to go into also, because you'll be spending time even within supply chain and operations. There are so many different things that you can do. There is supplier management, there is compliances, there is transportation, there is warehousing. So there is so many areas that you can pursue. So make sure that you get your information, you think about it. There's procurement, there's contracting, there is legal. So many items are there even within operations, because operations is a part of the entire supply chain. So do that. I remember, for me it was coming from campus into a shipping industry, which was a very male dominated industry. It did not freak me out. In fact, I welcomed it. I said that I'm going to stick around and I'm going to make my own way. So I just kept on asking questions and challenging things, and I made a lot of mistakes. So don't worry. Don't be scared to make mistakes. We all have made our mistakes. There is nobody who can say that I came, ready made from campus and straight into corporate life and I became a successful person. So go ahead and, do that. That is what I would say.
Completely, I think so. That's the most important thing, that uh, be a sponge. Don't worry about making mistakes. Uh, and yes, enjoy. Also enjoy what you do, right? Because that's also good. That will also, once you start enjoying it, I think one of the key factors
Absolutely.
and key things that I always keep on talking about is passion. Passion will also come in, right? The moment passion comes in, right, uh, I believe you'll also start getting into details, right? Uh, at times, of course, passion can at times, a little lighter vein, uh, make you switch off your TVs also when you start losing matches. But okay, but you'll get into details. Still, you'll get to know, what, uh, which player is doing what and all. So you still follow, right? So I think these are the key things. And Prashant, what you were talking about, the fondest memories, I think the entire journey has been very uh, the way I look at it from my journey perspective. If I look at my own journey, I would be, uh, you know, there have always been ups and downs, but yes, I think each each time I've actually been very fond of it. So I'll not be able to really quantify anything, but yes, uh, I've really enjoyed doing what we've been doing, and I think that's what the fondest memory is. That's all I would like.
Yeah. One thing regarding which I wanted to get words of wisdom from Gita is like the inclusivity of diversity in supply chain and operations background. Although you have experience of 20 years in operations, like what is your words of wisdom for uh, uh, people coming fresh from the campus, from the feminine gender, like what should they expect or what are the myths might they have in their head, can be break down?
So, like any individual, I also had some myths that before taking on this portfolio and before joining the company. So, what I would like to say is that I'm the living example. I'm very proud to say that. So, you can break all your myths and all the doubts that you have in your mind. And if you still have even the slightest doubt, I think my information is available. I'm available on LinkedIn, and I'm happy to speak to any of you individually as well. But having said that, I know it is a difficult choice, to come into a very male dominated industry. But I think the decision is entirely up to you. For me, the decision was very easy because I never looked at it as a, different generation or different gender, kind of a thing. For me, a person at the age, irrespective of age, irrespective of gender, has to be treated equally because that is how we were meant to be as human beings, all equal, all with the ability to excel. And if we put our mind to it, then we can do anything. So for me, I really feel that that filter, shayad, God forgot to put in me. So I feel that is my personal opinion.
Thank you for the wonderful answer. Uh, the students who have joined this Career Cafe booth are all aspirants of Operations Tech. What, according to you, will be the top three recommendations for these students to hone the skills in them? It could be anything like having go through some books or interesting courses, so that their skills are with the par with the industry and the expectation of industry.
Okay. So I think, of course, you need to constantly keep on upgrading your skill set. So reading, of course, would always help. Now reading, uh, the read these days the word reading also has changed its meaning. It's not that you pick up a book. You can, you know, uh, if I catch hold of my daughter, she said, "What are you doing?" She's saying, "I'm reading," but I found her on phone, so the reading happens there as well. So, yeah, right. Uh, but yeah, and she's constantly upgrading herself. So she keeps on upgrading herself with so much of reading, and she has so much of knowledge and various other things that we just I at times didn't realize. But yeah, that has been a source where she's been getting that information. So she's been upgrading that. So I think that's one way of uh, upgrading. So you continuously keep on reading. Second part I think so is also at times and get into some courses. And when you get into organizations like Reliance, you also get that opportunity to attend those networking sessions and those courses, which also helps you uh, you know bring up that skill set. And third, of course, also is I think so is something which is a hands-on approach. Get onto the floor and see how things, because in operations uh, you need to have a knack of what is uh, going, how it is things are getting done, and what challenges can come up. So as you grow, you will probably just need to look at what are the kind of challenges which would come up, and that helps once if you've been hands-on. And so that really is one thing which I would strongly recommend, that yes, we should. And in fact, when whenever the young team members have been joining us, and I've been recommending, and I've been seeing that not only that they're not reluctant at all. In fact, they're very eager to get into that and got to get onto the floor and see how things are happening, because it really gives an insight of what the ground challenges are. So sitting on computer, I can always say that okay, this will take couple of minutes, yeah? But you're doing one transaction. The moment you scale it to 100 transactions, that time frame would go up to uh, it go up. I'll not put a figure to that now, but yeah. So that's why hands-on thing also, or the practical knowledge will always definitely.
Yeah, Geeta, would you
I'll
like
just
to
add,
chip? Yeah.
yeah, I'll just add a couple of points. I think Anil has summed it up very well. But there are two things that I think that we can add on to it. One is I always believe that you can relate much more if you talk about experience. So what I'm trying to say over here is that job shadowing, listening to people who have that experience in the field that you want to excel in. Sorry, am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Yeah, yeah, Gita, you're audible.
Hello,
Hello.
am I
Gita, you're
audible?
audible. Yeah, yeah, you're audible. I
Hello,
think she can't hear us.
You are audible.
hello.
Okay,
Okay,
I think
I am audible. I don't know
yeah,
why I can't hear you. So what I was trying to say is that experience is talk to people who have the experience. So for example, if you are curious about supply chain management or operations in a particular field, gather the courage to go up and connect with them, listen to their TED talks or listen to them speaking. Today social media can play a very big role in developing and framing your career the way you want it, the way you have the passion to excel. So that is what I just wanted to add on to what Anil was saying: job shadowing and listening and connecting with people who have that experience in the field that you want to excel in.
Thank you very much. Uh, Students, I hope you are taking notes since these tips are certainly useful for you. Continuing with the theme of tips and learnings, I think one of the biggest teacher in the recent past has been the disruption that world has witnessed through this pandemic. Work certainly has changed. The way we learn has changed, and everyone had to quickly adapt. Uh, Anil, can you tell us things that have changed for you at work, and what advice would you give to the students to thrive in the new normal?
sure, Prashant. I think so. Yeah, the world has changed quite a bit, uh, and there's no right. Uh, but I think one thing that um, I've learned is that uh, when we've all been operating from home, things have changed quite a bit. So you need to be uh, re- you need to be cognizant of the fact that all of us are operating out of home, and hence the flexibility with the entire team. Sorry, sorry, just one second. Yeah. So, and hence you need to operate is one man. Second part that I would like to put also on the new normal is that you know uh, it's very difficult to at times anticipate what is going to happen. So the second wave hit immediately, right? And we were planning out certain things. So that's the time when the speed of execution is something which uh, really helps. And at times you need to quickly decide. But one of the fundamental things that we've always been operating upon, and there was no compromise in the organization as such, was the safety of the team members, right? So, and that was other thing. So I think uh, what I would try and put to everybody is that yes, I think there's been a lot of learning for all of us, and yeah, s- uh, you know, uh, some of us who would be graduating out from colleges this year probably would have spent a lot of time at home rather than in colleges, and there would be some. nostalgia about that. But yes, but I think in this part of life, I will learn much faster. So I think so. We'd learn much faster. The people who spend years rather than this way around. Geeta, if you'd like to just add.
Yes, completely agree, Anil. I think what we have been able to do in the pandemic was, I think, much more, if you ask me. There were so many times we have done the first time of everything. If we have to write a book, I think we would fill hundreds of pages in Reliance as to what we have done in the pandemic. So whatever our productivity was, I think it went straight away up by 200% because we were working 24 by 7 literally, because there was so much of unlearning to be done so that you could learn new things and you could execute it in a different way. An operations team cannot stop working. There's no way, pandemic or no pandemic. Operations team will work. As long as your kitchen is working, we are working. Correct, no, Anil?
True, very true, very true,
So
very true.
yeah, but my advice to the students is that don't get bogged down by what you see and what you hear. You have the confidence, you have the ability. Try to find how you can add value and be creative and create ideas as to how you can assist humankind. So use that as an opportunity to create new ideas, and we welcome all such kind of people with who can make ideas out of nothing at all, or out of a situation which is not a favorable situation, but to convert it into an opportunity, and how you can help mankind, how it can
True, and
become
actually,
easier.
true, Geeta, well, because I've seen number of instances, because as an organization we spent a lot of time and a lot of focus was onto moving these COVID kits and COVID related,
Absolutely.
uh, right? And it's not
Be it
only
the
for our own
vaccination,
organization,
yeah.
yeah, not only for our organization, but for the for
For the
you know
entire fraternity.
entire fraternity and society as such. And I've seen a lot
Absolutely.
of our team members who had engaged with on this had come out with such simple things and said, okay, let's do it like this, let's do like this. So
Yes.
exactly the point. Yes,
Yeah. So the agility to learn and unlearn quickly to adapt is the something which we should note in the terms of pandemic. And I believe the Reliance was one of the companies which was doing the fastest growth during the pandemic as well.
Absolutely.
sure.
And operations played a very big role in that,
Right.
Prashant. That is also something that we should mention.
So my last question for the day is on Reliance Emerging Leaders Program. For all the young leaders out there, why do you think going through this kind of program is important, and how do you see this helping students build a strong foundation? Geeta, can you take this up?
So sorry, Prashant, can you just repeat that because there was a bit of a noise in the background?
Yeah. So the question is for all young leaders, how this Reliance Emerging Leaders Program is going to be important, and how do you see this helping students build a strong foundation?
So I think from a lot of the programs that I used to work for a Danish company, before Reliance, the AP Monomers Group, and I think there is a lot of value in the program that Reliance has chartered out. Having seen some of the other programs, also I can speak freely on this. So, as a young leader, you will be tested, and you will have a broad spectrum of fields that you will be able to enjoy, work in that particular field, and spend some time there, and then graduate to another field, so that you get the experience. When I say field, I don't mean that you switch from operations to finance, etc. But I'm saying even within operations, you will get that exposure so that you are able to decide after a period of 2 to 3 months as to where exactly that you see your fitment. And as leaders today, we make sure that we spend quality time with the young leaders. So the people who are coming in this program will get a fair amount of me time with the leaders of the group. So that is a huge advantage that I see that this program can offer. So that is one of the important criterias, and there is a chartered path for the young leaders. When I say a chartered path, there is completely there's a complete focus on your growth, on your learnings, on the kind of time that you'll be spending with the leaders. So these are some of the things which really make this program very unique.
Yeah, I think so. Just to add, Geeta, what you just said is right. It's a very unique program because you get to you get to be mentored is one part. Also, there is structured, you know, training programs. So, Prashant, you were asking earlier, right?
Yes.
Uh, how you keep on upgrading your skill set. So that's one aspect which gets done because so being the future organization also ensures that you the right skill sets are put in place and you get exposure to that as well. And when you spend 6 months each on couple of areas, you can look at from holistic perspective. So one of the projects that we had given earlier was, on evaluation of the rail network versus the existing transport network.
Yes.
And the the team member and uh, the team member said, okay, how do I go about doing this? And the mentoring was done, and the only initial inputs were given, and the light was shown, and then it had come out beautifully. And it, what in effect was also that he was also able to get a holistic overview of not only the operating part, but what we so when we looked at it, we were not only operating part, the cost part was also there. What whether it is viable or not viable. So all such thing, and so it was beautiful. So the kind of exposure that you get is what I'm trying to say is just immense.
Yes.
And once you get that exposure and diversified exposure over a period of 1 year, two different fields, then you can also sort of get an insight of, okay, over a period, okay, this is the area that first I want to get into and build my skill set, so that you look at the forward journey.
Thanks, Anil. Thanks, Geeta. While you mention about the uh, Reliance Emerging Leaders program, I just can't feel help nostalgic because I myself joined as a part of this program in 2019, and I want to take this opportunity to tell our audience a little bit about the program. The Reliance Emerging Leaders program is a gateway to the young leaders of tomorrow to join us and drive challenging projects across Reliance Group. This is our group-wide program for management trainees. So as everyone can see the detail on the screen of the RELP 2-year structure, the RELP involves a 2-year development journey with two challenging stints in the first year across different businesses and a final role allocation in the second year. This stints and the final role could be across any of our businesses, be it O2C, new energy, retail, geo, and allied businesses. The projects as well as the final allocation will be in the track of your choice. For in this case, it is operations. The kind of projects which we can expect is transportation, logistics, inventory management, supply chain, distribution, operations execution, automation, procurement, and many more. We have structured and personalized learning intervention across the 2-year program to ensure that RELs are groomed to be effective leaders for tomorrow. We also have various opportunities for the RELs to network among themselves as well as with the leaders across the group through Coffee Connects and Batch Connects. This program also opens up avenues to accelerate growth and plethora of learning opportunities across the businesses. I hope I have answered the question of Ankit from SIBM Pune regarding how it is going to be structured for 2 years. Uh, can we switch to next slide? So we hope you are excited about this program and about TUP. Like I mentioned in starting, apart from on-campus hiring, those who make it to the national finals of the Ultimate Pitch stand a chance to bag PPI to be part of Reliance Emerging Leaders program. That's all from our session. Geeta and Anil, it was such a pleasure hosting you in the Career Cafe. Before we close, any last message which you would like to give to our viewers from B School across the country?
Okay, I want to wish you, each and every one of you, the very best. Make your choices with everything in mind. Speak to your family members. Take some advices from your, well wishers, and all the best. Yeah, look forward to seeing you. Bye bye.
Yes.
Thank you very
All
much,
the
Prashant and team, for giving the opportunity.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the very best. I think yeah, it's important that we just follow our heart, and whatever we're doing, just relax, enjoy. All the very best, and I'm sure all of us, all of you will do very well. And all the best. Thank you so much. Thanks, Prashant. Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Geeta.
Thank you, Geeta and Anil, for such an insightful career conversation. We hope you enjoyed too. And to our viewers out there, we hope you found this session and this discussion to be useful. We cannot wait to see some big ideas featuring in this session of the Ultimate Pitch. In case you haven't already done so, head over to reliancetup.in and register now. All the best for a bright and long career ahead. Stay safe and had a good evening. Thank you.